It was easy for me, as one who had been raised to always take the place of conviction on issues that matter to not just me, but to other people. Someone who had been raised to always put my voice out and not care about whether it is welcome or not welcome. Just owning my voice, just knowing that my voice makes a difference and that I must use it because of the privilege that I have had, meant that I didn't have to think twice to know that we had to stand for Chibok girls. And, you know, standing for Chibok girls it's been one of the toughest things in my life, because it created a lot of, gosh, it was terrible. I mean, the government came after us, did all kinds of things. Not just one government, the government under which the girls were abducted, the government that took over from that particular government, which is our present government. Neither of the two governments have acted in ways that show that they understand the basis for advocacy for these vulnerable girls. We are grateful that 107 of Chibok girls came home, and 106 of them are now back in school. For me, that is the greatest revenge that we could have against those that wanted to cut short their lives or cut short the opportunity of education for them. You know, the governance is like a product where you have the suppliers as well as those who make the demand for it. And that when suppliers are not questioned at all by the market, meaning those who demand, the suppliers tend to behave like monopolies. And monopolies have no incentive to give you quality of service or product. They don't give you good quality, neither do they give you good pricing. And so our governments across the continent have often carried on as monopolies because the citizens have not been very active and informed and engaged and put in the kind of pressure that would enable them set the standard of governance that would deliver prosperous societies that are stable and cohesive. And so for me, I believe that one major issue is getting the demand side of governance to become active on our continent. The second part of it is to actually have electorates that are wizened up to the fact that the quality of the leaders they choose in the political process will ultimately determine the quality of governance they will get. We just, unfortunately, have been a continent where the least qualified amongst us end up in our politics and then become the ones who determine the quality of governance that the rest of us get. I mean, I think it was Plato that said that if you think that politics is beneath you, you will be governed by your inferiors. You know, and that's what we see. We see it a lot across the continent. It is usually said that the people deserve the kind of leaders they get. And that's because people say that society determines its leaders. Research has proven it. The more that women participate in government, in industry, in the professions, in communities and in families, the better the outcomes, not just for the women, but for everybody. And so we normally say that educating and empowering the woman is smart economics. It is not, you're not doing a favor to them. You're simply enhancing your own society. The societies where women participate tend to be at the top rung of the economic league table, even in terms of stability and in terms of strength of nation state. Where women participate, society is stronger, society is more integrated and more cohesive. So it's important that we should do things like that. But I am running especially because I believe that of all the candidates that were available in my country, that I possess the character, the competence, and the capacity to stare down at our problems. I stand with all the credentials to enable me solve those problems because I do care. I care about the people. I have said it that I may not know politics, but I know how to care for people. And because I know how to care for people and I have ideas of solutions that are technical, I bring those two things together. I would make a very good president of Nigeria. I would be the one who inspires and mobilizes our people to work in unison, to work as a collective to deliver our country from the morass that it has found itself in for so many decades.